Hello, here we are, another Saturday Night Live Zoom call on July 7th, 2018, and family get together. So we have myself, Rana, and Judith here. Little quiet time. So yeah, as we were saying, um, it's um, it's really a shock for people to do something this transformational in their lives that they've never experienced before. And this is what we see. It's just so much of a transformation, so much different from what's going on out there. It's like, whoa, when we come back down and start eating again, we're going, okay, what's going on here? And this is the challenge. This is why we suggest, going into it, write your goals down, be very clear, be very focused, start making changes in everything you do in life. The time you go to bed, time you wake up, change furniture around, whatever. Don't keep the same triggers that will entice you to go back to the old ways. This is the challenge we all have. Myself, everybody, we all have these challenges. And when these challenges come aboard, to us, what I found, over the years, the more we can take control of that each moment. The more we take control of every moment, the more easier it is to take control as we go down. Yeah, we're gonna fall sometimes, no big deal. This is part of learning, part of life. But you know, um, food is not going to solve our problems. We're seeing this over and over and over. People jumping from one diet to another diet to another diet to another diet. It's you just levels of obstruction. You can decrease it by changing your diet, but you're only going to go so far. Fruit being the least obstructive. That's why when when we go back to food, when we choose to eat again, the times we choose to eat, we want to keep it as light as possible. So we have less, shock to the body. Um, some of us are going to have to go through the experiences of the pain and suffering, going back to some of the foods. And it's just some kind of reassurance that, is it really the food subconsciously that had me feeling this way all my life? And the wake up call comes pretty quick the next morning after you've eaten things that, they're not the best, or, best selection. So, these things are very clear. We have to really, not have to, but we learn to love the lifestyle. We learn to love the feeling of lightness and the mental clarity and the sharpness that comes through fasting, and the connection to spirit, because that's the most important. The physicality, we can only do so much, and we're only going to be here so much time, and then we're going to move on back to the light where we came from. So the times we're here, let's, for myself, I want to make it as pleasant as possible. The pain and suffering part, I've done enough of that, and it's not fun. And anybody else who is in that state, which is many these days, can tell you the same thing. But the funny thing is that some of us will keep dragging ourselves back to that state because everybody else is doing it, and that's the comfort vibe that we can fit in without having too much of controversies or triggering people, because choosing a lifestyle of health and balance and peace, it's going to take effort. It's going to take effort in this world, and like I said, the more we live it, the more we can influence others, even without saying anything, because that energy, that field, becomes part of you, and it's emanating, and other souls pick it up And this is where they come and, introduce controversy to us, because their soul is picking that up. When you're starting to shine like no before, like, let's look at the hundreds and hundreds of transformations and thousands of people before and after, just short periods of time, even 40 days, 60 days, 108 days, whatever, these transformations that start happening to the physicality. It's because we're starting to connect with the spirit through the fast. And that's the magic, which is not magic at all. It's built in through our Creator. This is the way it is. So it's a self-programmed reset system, so to say, that can bring us back to balance. Doing this, eating, I have not seen food bring balance. I've only seen it cause obstructions. And when we eat the foods that numb us out, it just numbs out the emotional level and brings on more of the physical pain, so we don't feel the emotions. And some people believe they're happy in that state, but clearly you can see people are not in the happy state when they're like that. So just it's one day at a time. Focus on today. That's all we can focus on. One day at a time. Today, I'm going to not eat. Or today, I'm going to eat clean. No matter what, I'm going to eat clean today. So when tomorrow comes, which it never does, because tomorrow will be today, you do the same thing. One step at a time. And instead of focusing on, I want to do 40 days or 108 days or whatever, focus on one day at a time. And make sure you have those goals written down very clearly, because this is going to be very important through the power of the pen, through your intent and emotion. When you write something down, it really has a magical effect. And it's something that we have to do.
I find that when we're busy and we're, you're busy, or most of us are busy, we have a job, running around, maybe family responsibilities. We kind of lose focus, of our goals, and we end up just not wanting to do any more sacrifices, which is even for one day, saying, okay, like today I'm going to eat cleaner, I'm going to change. We're afraid of changing, right? There's fear. So maybe people don't want to take any risk because they are just way too tired. And so we really want to connect, meditate, pray, just connect as much as you can.
Be in nature as much as you can, yeah.
Oh yeah, be in nature, focus, and get out of yourself where you are, your circle. Just get out of it, change it. Not something drastic. I mean, just go back out in nature, and that's not, it's not a big change, but it's a change, and that will help you too. So just get out of there, get out of that cycle, because it's a trap.
So I see, there's a lot of people barely go outside at all in nature, maybe to go to their car into a store and that's it. So connecting with nature will really help you. The best antidepressant is being out in nature.
Yeah, sometimes even, sometimes even just going out and maybe seeing your friends gets you out of that craziness, I think that's why people love to go out on the weekends, because they're always work, during the week, and they don't have time for anything, and they just want to do nothing. They want to drink, and they want to forget everything.
Yeah.
And release. Just be with friends, stimulate themselves in other ways, but
yeah, tomorrow we go to the beach. And just reset, ground, sun, just that one day. It's just amazing how much balance it brings. Just one day. So can you imagine if we can do it, you know, a little bit every day? It's just magical being on nature.
Yeah.
Take up sun gazing. Start the sun gazing, and that'll help as well because it's going to give you time for yourself being in the sun. You know, start on 10 seconds and then add 10 seconds a day. And then the safe hours of the sunrise and sunset, 1 hour windows at sunset or sunrise. And you can find that out online anywhere what the hours are. It needs to be under 2 UV, but you can also do it with your eyes closed if you don't want to do it with your eyes open. And just it's your meditation time. So it takes if it's sunny every day, I think it takes 9 months to reach 45 minutes, adding 10 seconds a day. And then from that point, you reduce 1 minute a day till you go back down to 15 minutes a day. And you're done for your life. And then you just do 15 minutes, 2-3 times a week, 4 times a week, or you can continue doing it every day because it's just a very peaceful practice. This morning I was doing a little bit, just a few minutes, and it's just so peaceful and resetting just to be in the sun and just give the sun all your love. It's not about taking. This is about giving. Even sun gazing. People say, oh, eat the sun. No. Give to the sun. Give to the sun because the sun keeps giving freely to the earth and the earth keeps giving freely. So it's our responsibility to give to all these wonderful beings that are selfless, through their giving and supporting this atmosphere and this planet and so on and so forth. It's just beautiful, to be out in nature. It's just amazing. But sun gazing is a wonderful practice. I've mentioned before, if I did the whole program when I was doing the high fats, and I damaged my nearsightedness when I was just before I started this lifestyle in 1990. Just before 1990, it was maybe 2 years before. I had to get reading glasses back then. And then going into the, cleansing lifestyle, fasting, eating clean, everything, I got rid of my eyesight corrected. But when I did this sun gazing thing, which was, what year was that? 2010-ish, maybe, somewhere around there, 2011-ish. I was doing the high fat raw vegan, and I damaged my nearsightedness. And I never completely corrected itself, but I corrected it quite a bit since that time. And this wasn't the sun gazing. It was because of what I was doing. And it really took a toll on my health. It was where I did a lot of damage doing that experiment. But a lot of people regain their perfect vision through sun gazing. A lot of people. So just be wise, be prudent, and do it in the safe hours of the sunset and sunrise if you're going to take that up. The HRM method, that's the short form of the guy's name. I can't remember his name, how to pronounce it. HRM is the short form. HRM sun gazing, if you punch that in, there's a lot of information about that on Google. That's one very awesome practice that everybody can do. You can do moon gazing, star gazing, flower gazing, tree gazing, people gazing, ocean gazing, lake gazing. These are all practices where you're just giving freely to them through your soul, and just allow whatever their fields to return to you, because when you give, it's always reciprocated and it has to come back. That's the laws of the universe, God's laws. This is the way the universe works. Everything's at figure 8 through field interactions, and it's just amazing when you sense that. What are you having specific challenges with, Judith?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, very loud, clear.
Yeah. It's the food, of course. But the thing is that really scares me. It's that Before that, the master fast, I was completely raw for a few
Mhm.
years, for 4.5 years. And then I was not even doing steamed vegetables or anything like that. I was completely raw. I was raw is low, of course, like everybody. And then after the master fast, I think I was a month after the refeeding phase. For 1 month, I was able to do just 1 day a week, just eating 1 day a week, and then keeping on the master fast. And then the dry fast and everything, I was really good at it for 1 month. Then after that, I started to add more steamed vegetables. And then lately, I've been having even like mucus food that I really I can feel it straight away in
Did,
even my body, in my mind. So
did you
and
crave
I
those?
don't. Yes, I was craving those, and I stopped doing my dry fast as well. That was the big mistake. Is my dry fasts were gone, and now it's just a vicious cycles. Like I was planning to do another master fast about even your tinctures this time instead of the Dr. Moss. I have the 12 ones from Peter because I'm in London right now, in London City, and um, and then I keep going for 1 or 2 days, then I fall off the next day, then I start again. It's been like that for 1 month. So yeah,
When you're ready, it'll happen. Just keep focusing. To keep it. That's your goal. You want to set it and set it in motion. The first week for any fast is usually the toughest for anybody, and this is where you really focus on clearing the bowels. These cravings, what starts happening when we start eating foods, when we start going off to more cooked foods, the more you want to eat, the more addictive it is, and more every time you go to those foods, you're going to want more and more and more.
yeah,
Some of us can handle eating a little bit here and there, and it's not a big deal. And for some people, as soon as they start eating it, they want more and more and more, and they can't stop. They keep going to that stuff. So you have to focus on, again, why did you start, and what is your outcome? What's your goal? And focus on that, not the food. When you're eating, yes, enjoy your food, enjoy it to the fullest, but
yeah,
always have your focus on your goals, because today is the only day we can focus on. But we need a roadmap. So when you're driving, if you don't have a map, you don't know where you're going. So we know where we're going, but we're focusing within the vision of how far we can see, which is today. and
yeah,
and we have the roadmap to lead us for each day. um, it's when you're on raw foods, it's wonderful. It's a great. This is what we want to focus on when we're eating. We want to stay mostly raw. But if you don't have any fast in your life, you don't get down to the cellular regeneration level and into the emotion like you do when you fast. It just doesn't happen. And this is what shocks people and is a challenge for people when they strip down this deep. They've never felt that before because they're always eating. Doesn't matter where you're eating. Yeah, you're eating raw. Everything gets cleaned up a little bit up to a point, and then you plateau, and it doesn't go any further. And then some people, after a few years, they're looking for something else because the raw diet didn't work for me, or this didn't work for me, or fruitarian didn't work for me, because it's only going to get so far through eating. And this is where we but we learn to love the lifestyle of less is more. And going back to eating 7 days a week, it's a problem. It truly is a problem for everybody that does that, because this is not where we want to be. And we really we learn to love the fasting more than the eating times. Eating, we love it, we enjoy it, but we love fasting more.
When you do 108 days, you know that you love fasting more than eating. It's no question, right? And
Yeah.
you have done 108 days too, right?
Yeah. Today
yeah,
I'm on
yeah.
day 9 of the colon feeding, and I just came from jujitsu class. And in the middle of jujitsu class, I was getting some healing reactions. It was interesting. So I'm a little bit today, but it's all well. I'm feeling great. 9 days just doing Kolima once a day. So bear with me, but it's the clarity, the feeling that we get when we're using a different form of energy besides food. This is what we're doing. This is what my definition of fasting is. Fasting is not about abstinence. It's about switching from heavy three-dimensional food for your energy to a better form and a much more powerful form of energy.
There's no energy from food.
No, it takes more energy than it gives you, actually, yeah. Maximum you get 20% of energy from the food through all the processing and everything, but because the energy to process it all is coming from where? It's not coming from the food. It's coming from other sources, and that's the key. So we don't want to look at that we never have to eat. Instead of eating, we're just using a different form of energy, and this is where people call living on prana, living on light, or I like to call living on plasma. Because we understand there's that energy interchange through the gravitational magnetic field, and that's the way we are allowed to function as every other being on this planet, and all other planets and stars and animal life and plant life. They all work on these fields. Like, you look at a tree or a plant, they don't eat. They're working on fields.
Now, I want to add that the energy, I believe, the energy definitely does not come from food, but what happens is when we are fasting, if you just skip a few meals, like 1 meal or 2 meals, you're still going to start detoxing. You're going to feel tired because you're detoxing. And then when you eat, what happens? You stop the detox. And I believe this is the only reason we thought that it gives you energy. It doesn't give you energy. If you never ate,
stops the
you would have always had energy, stable energy. But when we are eating, everybody's eating, and when we stop, we're gonna detox. And when we detox, you're gonna feel tired. When you eat, you stop feel better.
It's that cycle and the understanding of what's going on. So this is where, when you want to start a fast for whatever length of time, it's really important to keep those bowels flushed every day very well, and make sure you're drinking enough to move out all the backed up food through the GI tract. That makes us feel horrible. It's not pleasant having all that stuff backed up in our GI tract once we've felt the freedom of having it empty and light.
Judith, I wanted to ask you. I forgot what I wanted to ask. Okay, I will come to it.
Yeah, so what goes through your mind when...
No, I remember.
Go ahead.
What I wanted to say is that be gentle with yourself, okay? For a day, just for a day, and then for 2 days, and then 3 days. Be as gentle as you can possibly be. And one way is to really, first of all, wash your phone, okay? Because otherwise you're going to have very, very strong cravings. So you're helping your body, right? You want to help your body by removing as much obstructions as possible at the first few days, especially. And the other thing is drink. When you drink, listen, we all know you cannot drink more than 2 liters, right? It's already very filling. Fill yourself up. So you're not even thinking about food. Fill yourself up with 2 liters, even 3 liters. I mean, the first 2 days of this fast, which is today's day 8, I drank 3 liters. I didn't care. It's too much. I don't care. I drank 3 liters. The protocol is 2 to 3 liters. So I said, I'm going to drink, so I don't even think about food. So you want to help your body as much as you can. One way, as I said, is to wash. Another way is to drink quite a bit, like the maximum. And then start praying. I don't know if you pray. Do you pray sometimes?
Yes, I do.
Get
But
back.
I
Get
feel like
back.
I've got tendency to pray only when I'm desperate.
Yeah, I know. When you are full, right? When you're heavy, you feel like not praying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you fast, you feel amazed. Like when you're light, you feel like you want to pray. So it's okay. Give yourself time to pray. Make time for prayer. So this is another way of being gentle.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of that circle and make time. Yeah,
Okay.
get out of that circle of being busy and make time for prayer. Like, don't make excuse. We don't want any excuses. The first few days, don't make any excuses. Like, if you find anything that would give you an excuse not to get back on track, then remove it. If you're very busy most of the time, then find a day where you're not busy and just be as loving and gentle as you possibly can, and get out in nature just to change the environment. Because we are trapped big time. I mean, I ate for 33 days. 33. There were a few days where I started, but I fell again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, 33 almost 33 days after 116 days, I could not do the dry fast. And I guess not that I could not, but I was too addicted to dry, you know. And also, I
Mm-hmm.
did not believe that starting my massive fast with a dry isn't the ideal thing. I always like to wash my colon and drink enough juice and flush as many obstructions as possible before dry fasting, my weekly dry
Okay.
fast. So you don't have to start with dry, because this is a little bit like your body would be even more scared to do something like that. So
Yeah.
It depends. Some people can jump into the dry, and some can. The key is that
yeah, but
you know
be gentle. What's the big deal? Be
yeah,
gentle.
be gentle. Like for example, in all these years I've been fasting, there's times where I put it in my mind, okay, tomorrow I'm starting. Bang, it's bang, done. And then there's other times like yourself, Judas. I'll go, yeah, tomorrow I'm starting. Tomorrow comes. Oh no, okay, next day. Tomorrow comes and it just didn't happen. Next day, and this happens. These cycles happen, and it's okay, Judith. Having that in your attention that you want to do this, you're going to make it happen. You're going to make it happen
When you're ready.
yeah. And just allow it to flow, and don't be frustrated that okay, it didn't happen today. So tomorrow comes and you make your decision, and if it's not for tomorrow, maybe the week after. Okay, let me wait till the week after, and then that comes and you set your intention. Okay, so when the day comes today, I'm starting. I'm not eating for today, and I'm going to continue, and just do that. But don't. We can't be hard on ourselves. This type of lifestyle is not going to happen in one fast. You're going to get it. I haven't seen it with anybody. If
But why
anybody's
we,
told you
we
that,
have to go back that far? Why do we have to fall down that badly compared to where we were before? Because
not everybody. Most of the people, especially
a
people
lot of
coming from heavy diets, they
mhm.
seem to tend to fall off more, but not all of them. Some of them actually, completely change after one of these cleanses. It's
Very few. I mean,
there's no mathematical equation that's going to say this, and this equals that. Everybody's different.
so Judith, this is another
Yeah.
thing. You came from raw food diet. Still with raw food. That was the cleanest diet that you've ever eaten, right? So go
Yeah.
back to the cleanest diet you've ever eaten. You don't want to go to the worse than what you used to eat best,
Mm-hmm.
So get back to that comfort, But again, I would not eat every day. I mean, I also did raw food, and that was definitely my best diet. And I will not choose 7 days a week of raw food. There's no way. After doing 108 days on the master fast, I know better, right, than going back to raw food 7 days a week. So what I would do is like you can get back on the master fast weekly, maybe eat 1 day a week, honestly, because it's less distracting to eat 1 day. When you eat more, I feel like you're gonna get more distracted. The more food, The more days, the more
The
distractions.
more you want.
Exactly. And so, and so maybe get back on Master Fast Weekly.
Eating triggers.
And Master Fast Weekly. And when you eat, don't eat cooked food. Eat your raw food. Because that, you know what? That was your best diet. Why would you go for less than the best? You have done better with food.
Yeah.
So go back to the best. You used to love raw food, didn't you?
Yeah.
You will love it more. You will love it more when you do Master Fast Weekly. You will appreciate food much more when you are fasting. So get back on track. Don't worry. When you are ready, nobody's like running after you. There's nobody threatening you. You know, why are you afraid? Don't be afraid. I've told you 33 days. Yes, I was afraid. You know, I mean, I can't say don't be afraid now, but I was afraid myself. So I guess, you know, when you're ready, you will change. You know, you will, but don't worry. As I said, do the things that would help you, like washing your colon and doing this and doing that. You know, do all the tips that would help you get back on track and get back on track.
Just before you're going to eat anything, whatever it is, ask yourself, will this give me pain or pleasure? And then make your choice.
Yeah, but it's not that easy, Gio. I mean,
some will choose the pain. They want to feel the pain because they're stuck in that very drawing addictive cycle.
Yeah, it's not gonna like yeah. I don't like sometimes you just don't care. Mm-hmm. You're stubborn and you don't care.
Yeah, well, this is why we need to have
the thing is,
clear goals.
No, it's not about needing. I mean, it's okay to do mistakes because there is no other way. There is no other way to learn. There is no other way to learn. Some people will go through more mistakes than other people, and that's totally fine. Just avoid big mistakes because you know you don't want to kill yourself. You know, it's your responsibility. Everything that you do, and you don't want to do something that is not responsible.
Yeah, there's people who do all kinds of stuff. They do these long drives and they're eating horrible, and that's the lifestyle they're living. I don't know how. Like I'm talking about really eating animal products and everything.
Yeah, there's the keto, right?
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do that myself because it's a very damaging and very hard and very plugging to the system. The dry fasting, all it's doing is taking some of the load off from what they've eaten. That's all the dry fast they do it. There's no regeneration happening when you're doing that kind of lifestyle. It's because there's so much stress and punishment through the obstructions going into the body. It's amazing that people live through it. It almost killed me doing that kind of.
So Judith, it's okay what you're going through with mistakes. It's okay. You know, like if you are not happy with this lifestyle, then go back on completely raw food. If you don't like the fasting, but
no, I don't think it's not. I don't like the fasting. The fasting, I know that is the best place for me to be because I experience it, and it's completely black and white for me. When I fast, I'm completely another person, physically, mentally, compared to when I eat.
Exactly.
But somehow I'm just going to a phase where I just can't get out of it.
Yes, it's normal. It's normal. It's addiction. I mean, how many of us couldn't get up easily or fast enough?
First of all, let's start changing our words. That I can't get out of this. Start changing these words firstly, and catch yourself, and learn to catch yourself when you use these words. And the more you start catching yourself, the more you'll catch yourself, and then you'll start changing the program. What do you mean I can't do it? Sure I can do this. Why can't I do it? I've done it already.
Yeah, but you keep failing. Falling. Not failing, falling.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. We have to get the program changed because it's everything starts on the program.
But falling is good.
It's no problem with falling. Of course, I didn't say there was anything wrong. Embrace it. Move on.
The most successful people are the ones who
fall the most.
Fall the most.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been doing this 27 years, Judith. Do you think I don't fall? I'll be lying to you if I told you I didn't fall. I've told many times especially I've been taking care of my mother since last August. Now it's been a year. It's been a wild roller coaster emotional ride. So
your mom's food around you all the time.
So, after being on my own for so long, it was a huge shock to me. But I had to be there. I had to be there because it was a dire situation, and I shared that, So, I'm not going to beat myself up. It's okay. Move on. Here I am again. Day 9 on colon feeding. It's but I continued pretty much like clockwork every week for myself. I'm not suggesting others do this. Is my 3 days dry a week, no matter what, and that's my reset. And unless you're coming off a long dry, once you do this for a few years, you're focusing on the longer dries. After 2-3 years of practicing fasting and clean eating. Once you get into the long drives, like 7, 8, 9, 10 days, so on, you're not going to be, after you come off that, on the next week, start doing your dry. You have to give a break to the body. So you take, 150% of the time you fasted as a rest period kind of thing, but you're eating minimal. You continue doing your daily dries. You just, if you want to do just 1 day dry here and there, no big deal, but you don't want to do any longer dries until you've settled, unless you're into a phase where you're kind of living on, 1 meal a week, and you're dry many days a week, and you've been doing this for a while, several years, and it's all okay to you, because this starts happening. The more you keep fasting part of your lifestyle, the more you'll want to fast, because you're feeling better. You're accessing pure energy. You're not using matter state, which plugs you up. Doesn't matter what level, it's going to plug you up. Even though it's fruit, you're still going to back up on fruit. It's just going to take a lot longer than backing yourself up, for example, on dairy products, which is complete, very, very obstructive compared to fruit, very obstructive. Greens, just eating greens will be a little more obstructive, your leafy greens, than the fruit. And then you get into the vegetable kingdom, the heavier vegetables like your broccolis, your root vegetables, and so on. You get into heavier stuff like that. And then we start moving into heavier and heavier and heavier stuff as we go down the list of the foods. But this is why we want to maintain clean eating, minimal eating, no fats, no salts, none of that stuff, because all that stuff is obstructive, much more so than it is just plain simple fruit, ripe fruit. And you're in the UK, I don't know the quality of your fruit. We're in Toronto, we have all fruit from all over the world, but to get good quality, meaning ripe fruit, it's a challenge. And if you can't get ripe fruit, most people will not be able to sustain basic fruitarian lifestyle, is what I've seen. Going to a tropical island and eating fruit, it's a whole different experience. I can assure you, it's completely different experience when you're eating fruit in these places that's ripe, compared to fruit that gets shipped in from all over the world that's not local, and it's not seasonal. It's completely different. So the reason fruits grow in certain parts of the world is because that's where they're supposed to be eaten. This is, I'm talking on an energetic level. Otherwise, we'd have dates be growing in the cold here and stuff like that. Not that we don't eat them. Let's say if there's nothing else, but you can get some wonderful dates, that's nothing that's ripe, I'd go for the dates versus going off track or something like that.
Very few fruits grow in Canada.
Think about food as a fun time, an enjoyable time. It's not a necessity. Absolutely not. It's nothing to do with nutrition. Those things, we've all blown them out of the water. You can sustain yourself on nothing when you've cleaned the body out, and that takes time. Process for somebody to transition with their focus and intent could be a few years to many, many, many years for some. And some people will never stop eating, and that's okay too. But we can all reduce our eating times, and when we eat, we enjoy it to the fullest. But when we fast, we enjoy it more.
You don't have to enjoy it. You don't have to push yourself to enjoy it. It's gonna happen. It's automatic. You connect when you're fasting. You don't have to put an effort towards enjoying anything. You know it. When you fast and eat and fast and eat and fast and eat as a routine, You will know it. It will be so clear to you that fasting is more enjoyable than eating. So you will find out. Just to keep, trying, trying to get back on. Keep trying to get back on. When you're ready, you will do it. How long ago did you, Gino? Sorry.
No, no. Go ahead, finish.
How long ago did you break your fast, Judith? And have you done any
Oh, it
other
was
long ones?
no. I broke. It was mid-December last year.
And you haven't done any other long one, like 1 week or more? You haven't?
No.
Okay.
I did just for 1 month. I did the
That's the
1
fast weekly.
Okay,
Yeah,
at the basically in the second phase. It's twice as long as the fast minimum. The second phase lasts. Okay, so this is why when somebody does a long fast, it's very wise to go off it into one of the mini massive fast options and not going back to 7 days a week eating. That 7 days a week cycle is disastrous after long fast for people. Disastrous.
So Judith, how did you like the massive fast weekly for 1 month?
Yeah, the Master Fast Weekly was good. I just felt like it was I was looking forward to go back to fasting because first I was feeling very tired. The day I was eating, I was feeling very tired. I was spending so much time as well and money to prep the food. I felt like all my day. Sorry.
Yeah.
I felt like all my day was lost on cooking
100%.
and prepping the meal or even looking for the food because here in London the food are really, really bad. There's no taste.
There you go.
Yeah. So, the food quality is important, but you ate the raw food before, and somehow it worked. So you were able to do it.
What were you? Yeah.
But I was in Australia and in Thailand when I was fruitarian. So the foods were completely different. The quality of food was,
This is what you understand what I'm talking about. You can't compare. When you don't have fresh, ripe, local fruit, it's going to be very challenging to maintain that type of lifestyle. Everybody goes through that problem, Judith. This is a big challenge. So you go to the non-sweet fruits like the cucumbers, the peppers, tomatoes. You go more into that stuff, zucchini, that kind of stuff, because it's not going to satisfy you if it's not ripe and local fruit. It's not going to satisfy you. It's just not at the same level. It's you understand what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be local, does it?
Local is the best. If you're going to eat,
I know it's the best, but I'm saying, we're in Canada here. We eat mangoes and they're not local.
Yeah, the second best is any ripe fruit that you can get. But that's even the challenge for us. Like today I'm going through the supermarket, going for my mother, and I'm looking at all the mangoes and stuff. They're all hard as a rock. How are you gonna enjoy these things? They're not gonna satisfy you.
They're more expensive than the other fruits.
Yeah, like the prices, it's gone crazy. I don't know, in the UK it's probably more than here, but the prices are nuts.
So they don't taste good, they're expensive. Why would you eat fruit?
Yeah, it's better.
I know we would eat food, but the average person would not even think about it.
It's better to fast for me.
But the thing, what I know the feeling with the fasting, and then I love it, and especially when I was on the master fast, I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna go back to food. This is unreal. The feeling that I had, the connection that I had with myself. But I just don't understand how come I can follow that bad.
Yeah. So, if you were in Thailand, it would. I can assure you, you'd have a much easier time. Much easier. Like I was in Belize for 9-10 days, and I was the fruit there was amazing. I didn't think about any other food when I'm here at my mother's. Who's thinking about fruit? You want to eat anything but fruit because it's all around you, and there's no good proper fruit.
And you taste a little bit, it tastes good and it's addictive.
Yeah, but when you're around that quality fruit, it's very easy to maintain that lifestyle. I haven't seen many successful fruitarians that are not living in like tropical areas. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah,
last.
in Thailand, I remember I didn't realize at that time that I was actually dry fasting without even knowing it. So in the morning, I was probably not getting anything. Then afternoon, having like half of a big watermelon. Then I
Uh-huh.
was going through the day until the next morning, and then like yeah, I didn't even realize that I was dry fasting at that time.
That's exactly.
But one meal, I was getting one meal a day, and then I was feel satisfied until the next day
Okay.
with no problem.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that by that time. It's just now with all the knowledge.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. You're speaking exactly what I've experienced with the fruitarian lifestyle. You need to have high quality fruit, and if you
Yeah.
don't, you have to do something that is going to keep you satisfied, the non-sweet fruits, and or some cooked fruit, like plantain or banana, or some making some kind of jams or something like that. They're more satisfying because the fruit's not really ripe, so we want to bring it to higher order. The only problem when we cook all the other foods is they're more obstructive. We start getting away from the fruits. In the fruits, when you eat even some cooked fruit, I don't see it's a little more obstructive than it is eating the raw fruit, but nowhere near it is as it is as the vegetables and so on and so forth, cooked.
Yeah.
So, we need to do something that's going to satisfy us and enjoy it. But always that goal of, I love fasting more than eating. Brainwash yourself with that.
It's gonna happen. You don't need to push yourself to learn
Yeah.
it. You're gonna learn it. We are like the only way we are going to change our programming and beliefs is with experience.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, you will be like, oh, it's so easy, okay, and then you keep doing it and you keep doing it, and then slowly you find that you were brainwashed before, So yeah, you don't even need to push yourself to learn something new or to brainwash yourself. It's gonna happen because it's the common sense. It's nature.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna get back on one day and you're gonna say, "Wow, man, what was I waiting for?"
Yeah, that's exactly what I said when I started this one. I was
Like
like, what was I thinking?
freedom. It's freedom. Everything's free in your body, mind. It's like, why do we go back to food? Well, this is the deep program we all have. We believe we need to eat, and it's okay.
And Judith, this fast I started, it was last Saturday.
Yeah.
Gino said, let's go to the beach. He kept saying the day before, let's go to the beach. I was like, babe, I'm not sure I want to start. I'm not feeling, the best. And I'm irritated the first day and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Making all the excuses not to go to the beach. And you get a little bit of weight and just don't feel good. You're heavy. And then I did colonics on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I said to Gino on Saturday, okay, let's go. We went. We spent like 4 or 5 hours there, honestly, and we went to the water. It's so nice and cold and fresh. It's amazing, and the sun was so hot. It's just beautiful, like very warm and very cold water, very warm weather, and amazing, very refreshing. And I was like, the first time this year I swam, and I just loved it, and somehow. I guess grounding, I don't know what it is, but the energy came and I'm so happy to continue.
Everything.
And of
Grounding.
course, I did colonics, so I washed a little bit. I did 2 colonics that morning before I went to the beach. And it's everything. And then you have the juice. It's satisfying. You're drinking enough. You're not hungry. You're not thirsty, Like you have everything. You want to have everything like as easy as possible. But sometimes a change in environment helps. So, maybe just go get some sun one day. Go out to the park and just lie down, get some sun.
We call it the 10,008-day journey, right? 27 years. Time is an illusion. You will grab a hold of it because you're here. You're focused. You want to get back on. It's just you're going through a stumbling time where everything's confused because of these addictions, and it's okay, Judith. We've all gone through it. Anybody who tells you no, they're I don't believe them. There's 1 in a million maybe can do it. But especially, me coming from Italian background, food, 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 food. It's all about food, all about food. And certain times to eat, you have to be at the table, you have to finish everything on your plate. That's not a good way to program somebody growing up, because that sticks with you for a long time. And to deprogram that, it's not easy. So that's why, I say to parents, I suggest, don't tell your kids when to eat. Let them tell you when they're hungry.
Yeah, I couldn't leave the table if I didn't finish my plate.
Yeah, because my parents grew up poor. They didn't have, they struggled to eat proper every day with certain things. And that's the mentality that they grew up with, right? And they did the best they could. And, they did an amazing job growing us up. But it's not, from what we understand now, it's not something that we want to do, because number one, food is an illusion. Nutrition is an illusion. You don't need to eat physical foods, 3D foods. So we have to break that pattern if we want to enjoy access and full source of a form of energy that is much more potent and much more connection to source and so on and so forth. Because that's really what's the important thing. It's not the physical. It's the connection to the source, through our soul. Once we get into these fasts, the clarity, it's just so peaceful and so beautiful to be in these fasting states. It's what I'm talking about. Just put yourself back in that state, and you're going to find your way to make it happen, Judith. You're going to make it happen. There's no such thing as can't. No such thing, unless you believe that you can't.
No, it's the opposite. I believe I can, but
you've already done it. You know you can. You've already done it. So
yeah, what she meant is that she keeps falling, and I totally understand.
I don't understand how I can just jump back into it like the first time.
Yeah, as I said, lots of tips we gave you.
Yeah. I got them all on writing it down. I have some. If you have any tips on emotionals, because when I found myself in a dry fast, I have so much emotions coming out of the surface that I don't know how to handle them, or even how to digest them, or how to express them. And I get very, very aggressive. I can get very aggressive and very sad at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then when I eat, I get depressed.
Okay. Do you live alone?
No, I don't live alone.
You're married?
No.
You have a partner? You have family?
No. I've got family, but right now I don't live with my family. I've got 2 little sisters, and sorry.
You live with family or?
Yes.
Okay.
With the sisters, 2 sisters.
The emotional thing is the biggest challenge for everybody, because that's the seed. That's where everything comes from. And as we say, while you fast, all weaknesses come to the surface. Not only the physical, but especially the emotional. And this is where we learn to allow these emotions to express themselves. The more we hold on to them, the more it's going to be difficult to let them go. Now, the reason people feel that there's a blockage to release these emotions, because they feel the pain is just too overwhelming. And we go back to the physical pain, because it's easier for the physical pain instead of expressing that emotional pain. But the beauty is, if you go deep within and just allow it, connect to source, allow it to express. You don't have to know. You just allow it to happen, whatever, extra enemas, this, that, and the other thing. Connect in nature more when you're at these times. Hug a tree. Bury yourself in dirt. I don't know. But, cry your eyes out until there's no more tears, that you've completely dried out. Let that emotion flow. If there's somebody you can connect with and talk with at that level, that would be wonderful. We're here, as best we can on the page and support. The emotions are the most challenging for people, Judith. And this is why they go back to the physical pain. It's just too drastic of a shock. The feeling's so good, in that fast. And then they go bang when they start getting into the food. All kinds of things start coming back and all these triggers and so on and so forth.
Yeah. You're talking about dry fasting and emotional release?
Yeah. When I dry fast.
So that means when you were doing the 108 days, you were having these releases?
Yes, I was having that even after the 108 days, because I kept at least for 3 months till the dry fast. It's just for the last month that I completely lost, or even the 12-hour dry fast. But until a month ago, I was still doing the weekly dry fast, and then the 12 hours, or sometimes 16 or 18 hours a day. And then I was getting a lot of emotional feeling coming out of the surface.
Now I have a question for you. Now, is this emotional release harder when you are eating than when you were on the master fast?
No, they were coming more when I was on a master fast.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
eating suppresses.
So it was going deeper.
Yeah.
The food will just suppress them.
The food, when I eat the food, actually I feel depressed. That's the thing.
Yeah, because you're bringing the physical pain and it gets into depression. The emotional pains, the seeds, these things, we're not going to resolve them with one fast. If anybody, if I've said that anywhere that one fast is going to solve all your problems, I'll bury myself, because I've never ever said that. This is a lifestyle. It's a commitment. That's why we say 9 years minimum. Put that commitment. And then when 9 years comes, if you haven't resolved it, you make another 9-year commitment. We don't know how deep these emotional. They're not only our own emotions, and we've talked about this. We carry all our ancestral emotions because we can't be separate from them. We come from them. We are part of them. We carry a lot. And some of these things, when they come through these emotions, we're going, whoa, what's going on here? It's like way too overwhelming, because we don't have the understanding of what we're talking about right now. But now that we have this understanding, we can allow these things to come through, and we can settle and balance these emotions once and for all, for ourselves and for our ancestors, because there's no separation. Sorry?
Yeah, when you're fasting, that's the best time to resolve these issues.
Be in nature as much as you can when these emotions start coming. That's number one. Breath work.
Okay.
Breath work, the Buteyko breath work. Make it a practice, part of your life. Do controlled pauses throughout the day. Mentally remember to do controlled pauses. The more you do them, the more you remember to do them. But if you sit down even one time a day, twice would be better. Think about those as your meal times through the breath work. Your breath is your meal times. It's your energy exchange times. We're doing it all the time, 24 hours a day, but when you're doing it in a conscious effort through intent and emotion, it's much more powerful. Through your sungazing, you can do also your breath work while you're sungazing. You can do, you can feed two birds at once. Don't kill birds. So there's that. Acupressure points are really helpful with the burn stick to open up energy, because anytime these emotions are coming, what's an emotion? What's an emotion? It's another obstruction. It's a stagnation. It's a blockage of energy. So you get your burn stick, whatever size you have, and you start opening up cycles of energy throughout the body. Kidneys always. Kidneys, fear, they lock up, tighten up. Kidneys, adrenals. And it starts allowing obstructions throughout the physical and, of course, the emotional body. So if we can start allowing the body to flow, that also helps the emotional level as well, because they're connected. So this is why we're working through the physical, because it's easier to work through the physical than it is to work the other way around. People trying to do the emotional without doing the physical, they just keep plugging themselves up trying to do emotional work. I have not seen it work myself. I see this working through the physical, because it's easier for us.
That's why most spiritual, people and religions, every religion would have fasting in it.
Yeah.
It starts, so you clear your body and you're more connected to source. The less of obstructions between you and God, basically, when you're fasting.
Start asking.
And
go
yeah,
ahead.
that's the best time to pray, to help yourself. Really, that's the best time to pray, when you're fasting, not when you're eating. When you're eating, you're so distracted. Your mind is all over the place. You're praying, but you're not focused. But when you're fasting, there's focus like no other.
It's
Yeah.
it's a time where you reflect in these fasts and you connect and you start asking the questions. Start asking the questions, because when you're fasting, the proper questions will come up. And when you ask the proper questions, also the answers come up. They come up, they pop up in plain sight. This is what I find through fast. When I eat, for myself, I'm very sensitive. When I eat, I don't have a clarity in getting the connection myself. I'm very sensitive with food. So when I fast, it's beautiful. It's so peaceful. And, I'm getting all this information coming through. It's just, wow, what do I go back to food for? But, we do occasionally, and it's okay. It's okay. No big deal. It's no big deal. The key thing is that we do our best to not go back to 7 days of eating a week. Maximum 6 days a week. Maximum. Try and keep a dry window of 12 hours minimum a day. That's, most people can do that. It's not that much time more than what most people sleep. When I'm fasting, I get 4 or 6 hours of sleep. When I'm eating, I go up to 8 hours, 9 hours sometimes for myself. That's how sensitive my body is. See the drastic difference. Even on fruit, I sleep much more than when I'm fasting. So we continue. We have our goals. We understand this is a process, and we embrace every step of the way. Because every time we fall, we start. Every time we fall, and we start. We're getting a step closer to finding that balance. This is the only way we're going to do it. We're not going to do it by, reading a book or somebody describing it to you. We have to do it through our experience. Your experience is more profound and more powerful than all the PhDs and all the books and all the paperwork on this planet put together. It's your experience. And we're here to help guide people to go through that experience. That's all we can do. We can't do it for you. You can't do it for us. So you're going to go through these experiences, and you're going to fall, and it's okay, Judith. That's what we're here to tell you. It's okay. But there's always that big but. There's the dangerous aspect of falling incorrectly, especially after a long fast, where people can actually kill themselves. So you have to be wise on that and not do that to yourself at all costs. You be wise, and you eat as clean as you possibly can. If we're gonna fall off, we can do it better than example, go and order a pizza. That can actually kill you, or a hamburger or something like that. People that have done. You want to take that risk, by all means, but you can do a baked sweet potato yam, baked what's it called? Beet, some zucchinis, some baked zucchinis.
Yeah, it's best to do her cleanest diet, which is...
No, of course, but I'm just saying, if for whatever reason you have this wild craving, you want to eat something crazy, go to something less evil. Some of the easier stuff that's cooked that will help settle, because there's that emotion that for some reason you're not allowing it to express. You don't want it to express at this time, and it's okay. The next time will come, and maybe the next time will be a time that you'll be able to release it, or maybe not next time, maybe the time after that, or maybe not. We don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6 times before you figure out, okay, it's time to me release this time. I'm doing it. And then just continue doing enemas, because enemas really help with emotions as well. Just doing more enemas, the breath work, the connection with nature, all these things we've discussed. And this is the journey. This is the journey. If I can give you that magic pill, Judith, and say,
Gina, we don't have it.
I know. I will give it to you. I will give it to you. I'd mail it to you.
I want it.
I'd mail it to you express overnight. There's no such thing. And this is the fallacy of what I've seen out there for the last 27 years. The fallacy of somebody has all the answers. It's a process. There's no. The only answer is you do the work. Just do it.
Judith, what's your plan? How do you see yourself living?
I see myself living on a master fast. I'm not even seeing myself eating. I'm not planning. My goal now is not to go back even on a raw food.
Yeah.
It's
I hear
to
you.
do.
It's a little bit. Yeah.
Let me put a different perspective. Sitting here right now.
I'm not ready.
It's okay.
That's why you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, no, sitting here right now, making a decision that I never want to eat again. That's very, very shocking to you.
It brings a lot of fear.
No. I say it's just now, right now.
Yeah.
Right now, my goal is not to. Is to clean my body, because I feel like that I was getting very good results, and I was finally connecting to myself and then opening to the true me that I didn't know before.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally living the way I always wanted to live. And I'm just scared, and going back to food will bring me back to where I was before. The state of depressed and then unhappiness, and then just like a walking dead, if I can say.
Like most people out there.
Yeah.
So, they wait for the weekends to go get drunk or whatever and get high or whatever, because they can't handle all the stress through their lives.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Yeah. No, my goal is not to be a breatharian or anything like that. At least I know I'm not ready for that. It's just to.
Okay, what's your short term, like for 1 year? Short term is 1 year. Let's say 1 year. What's your plan for a year, for the next 12 months?
For the next 12 months, so it's to do another master fast. It can be 40 days or even 60 days or 90 days or 108 days. I don't really.
And then what?
I'm not. And then after, just eating 1 day a week, like I was doing.
So master fast. So master fast weekly as a lifestyle.
Yeah. You
have a plan, great.
Okay. So a mini master fast as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And are you like? Do you see yourself? I'm just talking now a little bit long term. Do you see yourself like going further and further, like maybe all fruitarian? When you eat, so you can start with raw fruits and vegetables, and then maybe the year after you can do raw fruits only, fruitarian. And then
fruitarian was the best experience that I had, because I was just no, absolutely not.
do you see? I mean,
when it comes to food, fruitarian was the best.
Of course.
My question is, like, do you see yourself like doing more dry fasting after this 1 year, like just going further and further?
Yeah. I would like. I've been struggling to do 3 days fast. I tried a few times after the 108 days fast. I've never been able to do more than 2 days dry fast, 2 days in a row. So one of my goals as well is to do 3 days.
It's harder when you're eating.
I've always kept my dry fasting since I started. I've never let it go. I always kept it.
Yeah.
I may miss a week here and there, but I've maintained it continuously. It's set in me. I always maintain that. But you mentioned that you don't want to be a breatharian. I'm going to break the news to you. We're all breatharians.
But she meant now. Of course, nobody can be breatharian now.
We're all breatharians. We just don't understand it. We're not taking our energy from food. It's very, very little. We use more energy than the food gives us. Even people are eating everything kind of food. We're all breatharian. The thing is that when you have an understanding, you can express it and expand it more and more. So, even though you're eating 1 day a week, you're living a breatharian lifestyle. Whatever you want to call it.
She's talking about short term.
Yeah.
But she's open
Yeah,
to
no, no,
going further and further, like liquidarian.
no, but in her mind, it's completely going without food. But no, this is just if you're living on massive fast, you're already in that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, liquidarian and dry, like breatharian. That's
There's breatharians who just drink. There's breatharians who don't drink anything.
No.
Very few.
Well,
There's
true breatharianism is no food, no liquid.
yeah. There's ones who eat one meal a week, or
That's not breatharianism.
it's defining. We can have.
Yeah, but we're talking about breatharianism, which is no food, no liquid. She's not talking. She's saying short term. It's not gonna be. It's not there for her, of course. And nobody. I mean, you cannot plan to become breatharian like this.
What I'm saying, they're all forms of breatharian at just different levels, and that's all that is.
Yeah.
Ultimately, is with nothing. With there's Marin, who's been on massive fast longer than anybody. He's in his third year. So he ain't going back to food. He's living on liquids.
Yeah, that's rare that somebody would just jump into it. It's really rare. I don't think we know anyone who did that before, or even heard of someone other than Marine.
No, but I'm just saying, if one guy can do it, it's possible. And if nobody can do it, it's still possible. It doesn't matter. Nobody can do it. It's like the 4-minute mile. Nobody did it up to one point, and then everybody started doing it.
Yeah, when you go longer and longer on the master fast, you don't feel like breaking it. There's usually a trigger why you break it.
Yeah.
For me,
stresses.
When I broke 116 days, and I was not planning to break. I was planning to keep going as a liquidarian, right? On liquids. Absolute satisfaction. There was no hunger whatsoever. But I broke it because I lost so much weight at some point. Because I did not follow the massive fast protocol so well. And I lost so much weight. And the last thing I want, honestly, is the stress of, losing weight too much too fast, And I ended up eating. And it's always hard for me when I go back to eating after a long fast. But the feeling is amazing. I mean, you can say in your head that that's it, I don't want to eat, and you're totally confident. It's possible, definitely possible. It's very easy, actually. It's not hard because you're always full, you're not hungry. The only thing is you will be bored because your life is so simple. And that's where you will meet your emotions.
Have so much time, so much free time.
Yeah, and that's where you will meet your emotions, because you're sitting with your emotions. You have nothing but your emotions, and you're like, okay, I'm bored, and then you get distracted with the computer, with this, with that, But then again, you're by yourself with yourself, your emotions, and it's you will definitely have moments where you feel like there is nothingness, and you might feel bored because you don't know what to do with this nothingness.
Yeah, like for myself, starting to share this information, it was a big shock to me once I started, taking on all the other people's emotions going through their fast. Like I never expected anything like this because I never was sharing it with so many people before. There'll be one here, one there, one there. When you're in the public like this, and sharing, and it's a huge what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a shock. It was for me before I was able to settle it up and figure it out, and then I had another thing happen with my mother falling and stuff, and then I had to deal with that. So there's always something is going to bring us some challenges, and we're here to learn and through these experiences. So we take a hold, we embrace them, and what are we supposed to learn from this? Is some of the questions we need to ask ourselves. There's a lesson, and embrace it and move on and learn from it. Just keep focused on those goals. Use the tools, and you'll succeed. You will succeed because that's what you're set in your intent and emotion. Yeah, you're going to have some difficult times bringing up some of these emotions, but as I said, as you repeat it over and over, eventually you're going to come to the point where I got to release this. I've had enough of it, and cry your eyes out for a whole day or whatever, a week if you have to, and, and let it go. Let it go. It'll be the best thing you've ever done once you release it. Once you have a good cry, you feel much better. Much
There
better.
were. It's never. I don't see it as ever being perfect. Perfectly healed.
No such thing.
Because we are here. Humans. We're challenged all the time. But you can be very close to God. I can see it. You can be really, really close to God, but you will always be faced with challenges. Either from you, either from you or from around you.
Yeah, it's some places on the planet, we get this. We don't get sun every day. We get clouds and get sun. You get clouds. You enjoy the sun more when it's like that. There's a few places on the planet where there's sun all the time, and it's a strange feeling. When you have these cycles, you enjoy more. I see the different cycles in things. The lower the lows, the higher the highs, and it's all good. It's all good. It's part of what we are. We're emotional beings.
Yeah, I love the seasons in Canada. I really do. I love the hot summer, and then you have the fall, the winter, cold, freezing cold winter, and then the springs. It's nice. I actually do enjoy the change. It's nice. Where I come from, Saudi Arabia, the desert, it's always sunny, and it's also nice. It's always sunny. It's always extremely hot, but you can go to the beach all the time. You can connect more with nature than here. You kind of have to hide a little bit from the cold.
Our winters are a bit too long, but anyway.
Or just learn how to enjoy the winter outside, which we don't. I mean, you can use it as a therapy, right? The cold, but we don't do that. So maybe just learn how to live where you are.
Yeah.
Learn how to grow the food that can grow in your country or in your land. Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, to grow whatever grows here, grow it and ferment it for the winter.
The winter time. Yeah.
Yeah, ferment it like what people do in Russia. So there's always something for you if you want. It's welcome.
Yeah, I'm going back to Australia.
You are?
Yeah, I grew up in Europe, but in Belgium. And then I went to Australia 8 years ago. Then I just came back last year. But yeah, it's not for me anymore, especially with the way I eat. It was much easier for me.
Yeah.
Living in Australia as a fruitarian than here in Europe. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Where in Australia, was it warm where you lived?
Yeah, I was in Sydney. So
they have fruit trees and stuff like that?
Yeah. They have a lot of fruit that coming from the Senipa Gold Coast that we call Central Coast of Australia. So we've got all the mangoes and the papayas and everything. So
wonderful.
And it's very it's very tasty. It's usually from small local farmer as well. So it's not kind of the fake organic stuff that you got from the bigger supermarkets that don't have any taste.
No comparison.
Yeah. So yeah, in a month's time from now, we'll already change country. So that will be a big change as well, I guess.
You're going by yourself?
Yeah, at the moment, I'm going back by myself. Yeah.
And that's maybe a little bit scary for you, right?
No.
No? Okay.
Actually, no. I was in Australia by myself as well.
Yeah, I mean
first I went
change.
With my sister. Change? No, I'm actually I'm coming to a stage, especially after the fast, where I really want to be by myself, and then going from change to change. I don't see myself staying in Australia for too long either. So I've got Costa Rica in my mind as well for the future. So yeah. And then I feel like it's, especially when I'm on a master fast, like you were saying earlier, that you want to extend your master fast, that you did longer master fast, you know, when you do the master fast. Because I remember for me, when I was on day, I think it was 105 or something like that, I was like, this is amazing. And then I was feeling my body getting deeper and deeper, and I was just enjoying it. I was like, I decided to go longer, but my sisters were really worried about me, thinking that I was killing myself.
Yeah.
Seriously, because they took me a few times, you know, they talked to me and they was like, I will show you, because I lost a lot of weight. It was not at the beginning, but around the end of the 108 days, I became very skinny. But for me, I was not scared of it. I was not feeling worried about it. I knew that it was for the good cause. And then if I was losing a lot, it's because I had a lot of crap in my body anyway. So it was a good sign for me.
Yeah. You feel great. They
And
don't
then,
understand.
yeah, exactly. So, and then all the pressure they put in on me because of that, it's just because of that I stopped my master class. I was ready to go longer. I wanted to go longer. And I remember when I put the piece of fruit, it was a honeydew in my mouth. I regretted straight away when I broke my fast.
It's normal.
Like,
I remember the first bite was cantaloupe for me.
What did I do this for?
exactly.
Yeah.
It was exactly that. So, yeah. I think at this stage of my life, being by myself, far away, even from my sister, I'm really close to them. We are very, very close because we only have each other. We don't have any parents.
So you guys are going to move together?
No, right now I'm going by myself. The goal is for them to come as well, but no, not this year, probably next year. But I think as well, I feel like at this stage of my life, and then with the master fast and everything that I'm going through, I need to be by myself. As long as I love them so much. I need to be by myself. I don't want to surround myself anymore with people who don't understand what I'm going through, who don't want to understand, or they feel like I'm hurting myself. So I'd rather being far away and then doing my stuff. At least at this stage. If there's any other way I can handle it, so we'll see in the future. But yeah.
Very good. You're on the way.
How much dry fasting were you doing when you did the 108 days?
The daily one?
The whole thing, daily, weekly, monthly.
Oh yeah, so I was doing the 24 hours weekly for sure, and sometimes even 48 hours. Some week I was just feeling that I was following my body a lot. At the beginning, I was forcing my body as usual because I'm used to push myself. That's where I came from. But I will say after probably the last one, the third month, I was learning more to listen to my body. So I had some weeks I was doing 48 hours. I was doing for sure 24 hours. Maybe not the first 2 weeks, because the first 2 weeks were like hell. It was really, really hard mentally the first 2 weeks and physically. But after that, I was doing a minimum of 12 hours, sometimes by 16 or 18 hours. And then enemas as well. At the beginning, I was not very good at it. For the first 2-3 weeks, I was not doing enemas every day. After that, I was doing every single day after the second week.
How about your monthly dry fasting?
Sorry?
Monthly dry fasting?
Monthly dry fasting. So I was doing 5 days.
5
4
days.
to 5 days. Yeah.
5 days you've done on the master fast.
Monthly.
Oh yeah. So you were pushing monthly. It with the dry fasting. No wonder you lost so much weight too fast. I would not suggest that. We say like 12 hours a day, 24 hours a day a week, and then 72 hours maximum a month. I wouldn't push it. You're gonna lose weight so fast. I mean, I've done it many times. Okay. And I lost the least weight when I did the minimum required dry fast, which is 12 hours, 24 hours, and 48 hours a month I didn't do. And I already lost so much weight at 116 days, but it's still much less than what I lost before. Yeah, I lost more before, much more. Before I was 40 kilos at the end, after the 108 days. Whereas with this one, I think when I was following the Master Fast protocol correctly, I think I got to 108 days. I got to 48 kilos, which is 8 kilos more. 8 kilos more than what I lost with the first one. So it's much healthier, definitely. So I tell people, do not overdo the dry fasting. You're going to lose a lot of weight. You're not going to like it. You're going to quit.
Everybody will go through a different journey, and as you have more and more fasts under your belts over the years, you'll lose less weight.
That's I'm saying, yeah, but for people who are starting, don't do it. Trust me, you're gonna lose a lot of weight. You're not gonna like how you look, and you're not gonna like people's criticism to you. We are sensitive, and girls are sensitive, and boys are sensitive too. And especially when we're fasting, you're gonna be more sensitive.
It doesn't matter. For some people, they're gonna go to skin and bones no matter what, and that's part of the process. Yeah.
The people who lost a lot of weight on the Master Fast have pushed their body. I have seen it over and over and over. The people who have lost a lot of weight on the Master Fast have pushed it big time. I mean, we have had people who did 10 days dry fasting on the Master Fast, or 5 days even, or this, or I wouldn't suggest that. You're already going far by doing the Master Fast as it is. I wouldn't, push further. Again, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna have criticism from your sisters, and you're gonna end up breaking it, because the last thing you want is to deal with stress. And also, you're going to criticize yourself. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you're not gonna like it. So we judge ourselves too.
When you have the understanding, the body builds back. There's no problem. You're going to hear criticism from others, but
why do you have to do it so fast? You have the rest of your life.
Doesn't matter. Some people are going to go skinny anyway. It doesn't matter. If you're going to push it way more, you're going to lose more weight for sure. But I'm just saying it's part of the process for some people, and it's okay because you're going to gain it back. It's no big deal. Just embrace it and enjoy the ride. But we don't suggest that people push the dry fasting, especially newbies. No way. It's just too much. People trying to go crazy on the dry fast, and then they just fall off. They start drying themselves out, get themselves in trouble. It's just trying to be heroes. It's not going to happen. This is a lifestyle. This is a process. Persistence, consistency, doing it over and over and over is how we get there. We're not going to do it all in one fast. This is what some people are looking for. They're looking for that magic pill with one fast to solve all their issues. No such thing. No such thing. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. We have it all set out, right from the start. This is your start. As soon as you end your fast, it's your start. And then what are you going to do to maintain the lifestyle? That's the start. We're going to go on a menu.
We have the rest of our lives, basically. You don't need to rush it. Go at your level. Go at a level that is doable for you. But follow the protocol correctly. Just choose whatever level you want to do and do it correctly. You have the rest of your life. Only you know what is best for you. 108 days or 40 days, and then eating clean, or 108 days eating clean, whatever. You will know what's best for you. Or even a few weeks, or a mini Master Fast option, to live on. You don't want to do something that is, for example, if your husband is completely against what you're doing, you want to find something that works also with him, You don't want him to criticize you day and night, and then it's going to be too much. And you can be healthy doing something like mini Master Fast option, So do something that is maybe simpler, easier, until you're ready to do, you and your husband are, psychologically ready to do something deeper,
Yeah.
You are in control, Judith. You are in control. Understand that?
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, but you are. You're making the choice to, do whatever you have to do, but it's okay. Just you understand that you're the control, you're the commander in chief, and nobody else can do it for you. So your wish is your command. Either way.
God is, God is in control. God is in control, not us. We only have so much control. We don't know when we're gonna get up after we fall. So pray a little bit. Pray, ask for help. And before it, I don't know, it will come out of the blue. I don't know when we are ready to change, but sometimes we are ready and sometimes we're not. As I said, when you connect out in nature, you do this, you do that, there are triggers, this is all godly. It triggers, you to get up and, I don't know.
Nature is designed to always be in balance. The only time there's no balance is when man steps in and interferes. So with all the planets, everything, the solar systems, they're all working in perfect harmony. They're continuously in orbit perfectly. They're always in balance. So it's us that we move ourselves away from these universal laws, and then we pay the price.
Listen, it's not about that. It's about being humble. Being humble. You have to be humble. You have to put yourself down and say, you know what? Okay, I don't have it. I'm lacking something. It's okay to lack because you know what? You're a human. And there's something, not perfect. It's okay. Ask for help. Ask God to help you. If you want to name it something else, go ahead. I don't care. But there's a power that we don't have and that can help us. So, put yourself down and say, you know what? This is way too much for me. Can you, God, please help me? And just sleep, and maybe the next morning you'll be able to do more,
Yeah.
Don't let everything be on your shoulders. It's too much weight for us. It's too much weight, right? We can't.
Help is always there.
Yeah. So to think that you're so powerful that you can do anything you want, I say absolutely not. We don't have everything. It's okay to say that. We're not that we're very powerful, but we don't have it all. So it's okay to do mistakes. It's okay to fall. But you know what? I think the most important thing is to ask for help. Ask God for help. Ask us for help. And we come to, maybe we will help you through God. When you ask God for help, you find us helping you. Like today, maybe, right? Maybe God, is helping you by.
I think he is helping me because last night when I was writing, because I'm trying to write in my journal lately because it's just getting so overwhelming. I've got so much heaviness in my heart. Then last night I just came back home and I started crying and crying and crying and crying for I don't know how long. And then I remember that I was writing down that I surrender and that I needed help, that any help you can just send me, just please.
I love this. I love this.
And then I think, and then today, I've been trying really hard to attend the Zoom, but it's very hard with the time here because I start working at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then your Zoom hits at midnight. So and then today somehow I just came back from work, and then I did a double shift again, and I'm very tired and everything, but somehow I knew that I needed to stay awake to be on a Zoom today. So I think, my prayer has been heard.
Are you working tomorrow, you're saying? 5 a.m.?
Yeah, in a few hours. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's so you don't have much time to sleep, right? Tonight.
No, 2 hours.
Oh. But yeah, stay strong.
Yeah, no, I was like, I can go to sleep because I was very tired, or I can follow my gut is telling me go listen to Zoom today, and then I was like, no, I'm just gonna go listen to Zoom because I just felt like I needed to be here tonight. So yeah.
All's well, Judith.
Judith, that's amazing. You surrendered. You say, that's it, I'm done. I let go. Please help.
Yeah.
And help came to you.
Exactly that.
So, yes, God is listening. You just have to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And because most of the time we think we're so strong and we have it all and we figure it out. we go to school for many years, like university and masters and this and that, you know, you're thinking you're so smart. We're still the same. At the end of the day, we're the same. You know, we only have so much power.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we know nothing, but all the knowledge of creation is within. All of it. We can't be separate. So we can connect.
Yeah, we feel definitely, we feel it.
We can connect, which is amazing.
Yeah. And then before the masterclass, I remember as well that I used to seek for answer and then for wanting to learn and to listen to this and to that. And when I was on a masterclass, I just want to be, like you said, the answer are from within.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to read anything, like not read, but just I was always seeking for I don't know what I was seeking for actually, but I felt like I was always seeking for information about everything and then nothing at the same time. So when I was on a masterclass, I was just allowing the answer to come to me without going to get them from outside, if I can say.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful experience actually.
Yeah, that's amazing because for me, when I read other stuff, it's all wonderful, other people's experience, but when I connect within, there's that knowing, you know, it's a completely different feeling, hard to put in words. It's a beautiful experience.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you for your time.
Oh,
thank you so much. You must be very sleepy right now.
I'm starting to feel a little bit tired, yeah.
Yeah, take some naps during the day tomorrow, no big deal. Yeah. You're fine.
But we'll finish soon, I guess, if there's no questions.
Yeah, who else we have on here? We have David and Diane. If you have anything, or we can wrap it up early tonight. Go back to my mom. She's waiting. All right then. That's it.
Stay strong, Judith.
All is well. Yeah,
it's really nice to connect with you finally.
Stay
yes,
connected.
Thank you.
Yeah, stay connected on the board. You know, just anytime something, just write it out and let it flow. That's part of it. People sharing is part of the process, which few understand. Sharing is part of the process for healing. And when you keep it locked up, you're only going to go so far. You're only going to go so far. You know, that's why, you ask God for help and whatever. It's the sharing. You need to.
I mean, you definitely get energy back when you share.
The stagnation is not the way the universe works. I'm sorry. It's just doesn't work that way.
The support that we get, when we start posting something, a photo or something, people love it, and you get all this support. Sometimes you get criticism, but for the most part, it's mainly support and lots of love.
People can criticize all they want. The regeneration that we've seen is just mind-boggling. The transformations, and people can choose to be blind. That's okay. That's the way most people live their lives. Choosing to be blind. That this food doesn't bother me. I can eat anything I want. Okay, keep eating it. And then one day they want to be saved. They're in the hospital, and because if something's gone wrong, all of a sudden, just appeared after 50, 60 years or whatever. But hey, this is all part of our experience. There's nothing wrong with it. We all choose our paths, and it's fine. I'm not here to judge. I've been there. I've been through all kinds of stuff, and it's all great learning experience. But there is a way that we can live without misery, pain, and suffering, and then minimize that category. Not having to go see doctors anymore and all that stuff. There's a way. It's simple, faster way with clean minimal eating. The less we eat, it's shown to extend lives as well. If we live longer, that's wonderful. But the quality of time where you are right now is what's important. Tomorrow may never come. We can be in an accident or whatever. But each day that you feel great is what counts, that moment. And if you get to live more years, you will enjoy more years being healthier instead of being in misery and pain and suffering. It's not fun being in misery, pain, and suffering. That's for sure. It's not a place I liked. It was horrific experience, but it was a blessing to be able to go through that and come to an understanding from that experience. That was a blessing. So we'll call it a night tonight, everyone, and we thank you for joining us and inspiring each other. We wish to hear from more people, supporting and inspiring. Hear there's challenges and stories, and the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. It's all part of us growing. You can't have one without the other. It's all part of it. And when we hear and we share and we inspire is how we grow. So thank you again. And let's keep that plasma love flowing. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Ciao,
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rana.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gina.
You're
Love
welcome.
you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Love you.
Bye.